Hey friend, Nick here, and in this video, I want to talk about shotgun mics and how a lot of people don't use them the right way. Shotgun mics are really meant to be about 1 foot to maybe 2 feet away max. They're really most effective at that range. Once you go beyond that range, it starts to pick up a lot more room sound, and it won't sound hardly any better than the built-in mic on top of your camera. The only time it really works on the camera is if you're holding it, like with a selfie stick or a short tripod and doing like a vlog style video. That works because then it's close enough to your mouth that it'll pick up everything it needs to and sound nice and full. But when you get further back, it loses bass response and you get a lot more room sound, and it just does not sound good. Now, a lot of people don't understand this and they put it on top of their camera thinking they're getting better audio, and really you're wasting all that money. Here's what you need to use a shotgun mic correctly. You need a stand with a boom arm that's long enough to put the mic stand out of frame on the side, and the boom is long enough to come over in front of you and be just out of frame. Now, I have a stand that has a nice long boom arm, and I can actually extend it another, 3 feet. You can probably get away with using a cheaper mic stand with a special adapter so that you can screw on your mic clip, and I can link to some options below, but the principle is the same. The stand has to be out of frame and reach far enough to put the mic just out of frame. So let me back up the zoom on this so that you can see how close this mic actually is. So now you can see this mic is like right here. It's probably 1.5 feet from my mouth. And in this position, you get a nice full sound. Plenty of bass and low end, plenty of high end because it's close enough, and the least amount of room noise possible. So I'm gonna zoom back in. So I'm cut back in and now you can't see it, but it is literally like I moved my finger down an inch and now you can see it. So I could probably even bring it down just a little bit and still be out of frame, but it's close enough. It's gonna sound great. Now I'm gonna put the mic on the camera so we can compare what it sounds like here versus on the camera. So the camera's about 4 feet from me. It's really not that far. In this room, I have some acoustic treatment. There's some carpet on the floor, so it's not as reverby as some other rooms, especially if you have hard floors and you don't have any kind of treatment on the wall. The sound really bounces around. So that's really amplified in a room that has a lot of hard surfaces. That's where you'll that's where you'll hear an even bigger difference between being this close and being on the camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch now to put this on the camera. Okay, so now the mic's on the camera, and there's gonna be a huge difference, I think. I won't know until I get in the computer to check it, but it's gonna sound quite a bit different. There's gonna be a lot more room, reverberation, and sound bouncing around. It won't sound as rich in the low end, and overall it's just not gonna sound very good. Probably not much better than the built-in mic. So if you're gonna use a shotgun, I guess it is slightly better than the built-in mic on a camera. You're gonna get a little bit more directional audio from it, but I promise you it's not gonna sound like what you think. It's not gonna give you a huge jump in quality. You're gonna get that big jump in quality when you put it on a mic stand right above your head out of frame. All right, this is killing me. I'm gonna have to switch it back. All right, that should be much, much better. Much more better. If you're wondering when to use a shotgun mic, here's my approach. If the subject is gonna be stationary and not move around, use a shotgun mic. If you're gonna be moving around at all, use a lav mic. So if you're mobile at all, if you're gonna be moving to a table, a different part of the room, if you're doing an exercise video, you cannot use a shotgun mic. It just won't be close enough, and you'll have to constantly set it up and move around. It's super annoying. Now, if you're just moving like a couple times, but once you move to a different spot, you're stationary, I would still use a shotgun mic because it definitely sounds better. If I was moving around, let's say I'm looking at you and then maybe I'm looking down and talking, if I'm having to look around and talk and do something, if I'm moving around because I'm doing something at a table or whatever the case might be, the sound's gonna change a lot as I move. These mics are extremely directional. So in that case, I would use a lav mic, either wired or wireless, depending on your budget and your needs. I wouldn't use a shotgun mic for that. If you're looking to buy a shotgun mic, you don't have to spend tons of money, although you definitely get what you pay for. But there are some lower end options that sound really good and will give you a bump in quality as long as you mount it right here and not on your camera. So I'll link to a few good options. The one that I use is a Sennheiser MKE 600. There are a couple other options. Rode has some good options. The NTG2 and NTG3 are really good mics. They do have some less expensive options that are still gonna give you a good bump in quality. They're not quite as good as like the Sennheiser MKE 600 or the NTG2 or 3. But they're still really good. They still sound a lot better than the built-in mic. Again, especially if you put it right here. I'm gonna hammer that home. Get that in your head. I may even do some reviews in the coming months on some different equipment, including different shotgun mics and lav mics and different things. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you'll get all my future videos. I wanna give you a couple tips with shotgun mics. The first one being, use a windscreen. A lot of times they will come with kind of this cheap foam one, which is better than nothing. And unless your environment is totally still, like right now, I have the air conditioner turned off, the ceiling fan's not on, so there's no movement at all, and I'm not close enough to like get plosive issues. Plosives are like P's and B's. With a mic, you have like real close to your face, you get that boom sound. It's far enough away, I'm not gonna have that issue, so I didn't really need it for this video. But if the air conditioner could come on, if the fan was on, or if there's any kind of air movement, these mics are that sensitive that they'll pick that up. So the foam windscreen that it comes with should be good enough to get most of that out. You can upgrade to a dead cat. There's a few different names for them. They're all kind of funny sounding, but upgrade to one of these and you could take it outside and not hear wind noise. They're great. They have the foam inside and then they have this fake fur on the outside. And it does an awesome job cutting out any kind of wind sound. If I'm using a shotgun mic, I bring it, I put it on. It's actually really rare that I don't use it. I just knew in this video I wasn't gonna need it because I'm not running any kind of air conditioning units. One other tip I want to give is make sure you're putting fresh batteries in them. Just make sure that you're swapping it out before it dies. Some mics will flash, the light will flash when the battery's getting low. So you just want to make sure you don't run out of batteries, because nothing is worse than getting a whole video done, watching your playback and realizing that there's no sound. Oh, I've ruined a couple videos because of that, and it sucks, especially when it's for somebody else and you have to shoot it all over again. One last tip I wanted to give is sometimes these mics have little switches on them. The most common one is called a low cut, and it looks like a little, like a check mark sort of without the other line. I guess that's not a check mark then. It just has like a little line and then a flat shelf. A low cut switch, when you turn it on, will remove a certain amount of low end. And usually this is something you want. It won't cut out the low end so much that you'll really notice, especially in the human voice. But what it will cut out is some low end rumble that sometimes comes from air conditioners, even like foot traffic. If you're standing and walking around, sometimes that mic stand can pick up some low frequency vibrations. Or even if you kind of bump a table or bump something nearby, it'll pick up vibrations. And it's a great way to cut a lot of that stuff out so that you don't have to mess with that in post. Sometimes you'll also see some switches that have like 0, might have a plus and then a number, it might have minus and then a number. And all that does is turn the volume up or down. So if you're on a camera that has kind of a low gain quality and you need more volume, you can flip that switch to plus if you have it. If you have a camera that's really sensitive and you need less volume, you can switch it to the minus and it'll bring that level down. Not all of them have that, but if they do, that's what that switch is for. If you want to learn a little more about audio, I've created a short guide that has some additional tips for getting better sounding audio. Head over to glacierrockmedia.com/better audio and grab your copy today. I'll put a link down in the description. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and click that little notification bell. It'll let you know every time I post a new video so you won't miss any. And if you know anyone who could benefit from this information, please share it with them. I want to help as many people as possible make better looking and sounding videos. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Keep looking at the freaking thing. Don't look at the monitor, look at the lens. That's a bonus tip for you right there. So here's what you need to use a boom, back that up. The one that I use is a Sennheiser MKE 600, I think. I already forgot. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.